Did you have
Yeah,
any of those where you were, aside from the crying, where you were just completely
I
misrepresented?
did. So on our go sees, at that point, even I think just even talking to like other people other than who we had been with for so long was strange. And we had to go to these go sees, and I was like super nervous. I'm naturally a really introverted person.
Mm.
Um, and we had just done this commercial type thing where we had to use cue cards, and I was run over by a car when I was 17.
Hmm.
It almost killed me. I had 5 pelvic fractures.
Oh
My
my God.
ACL was torn. I had 8 staples in my head. Um, I don't remember the day at all. It doesn't exist for me. I woke up in a
Mm.
hospital bed. I came out of my
So
shoes.
sorry.
You actually come out of your shoes when you get hit by a car. I got hit by a Jeep doing 50, trying to beat a red light.
Oh.
I'm lucky to be alive. They told me I lived because I am as tall as I am, so it hit my hip instead of my intestines. Um, I was in rehabilitation for like most of my junior year at DuPont Children's Hospital. Uh, and they test you a year afterward and they tell you, like, here's our baseline. We're trying to figure out if you lost anything. And they're like, intelligence wise, you score way up here. We don't know if you lost anything because your grades, because I had
Hmm.
undiagnosed ADHD, are from C's to honors classes. So we don't really have a baseline. Um, but your short term memory is down here, and that's your working memory. So
Mm.
I could not do the challenge. Like, I could not look at a cue card and remember what I had read 5 seconds later when I looked at the camera. And it was very emotional for me to like go through that and realize that it like still impacts me that bad, because it's not just like I know that I lose everything. I lose my keys, I lose my everything every day, all the time. Um, both between ADHD, which has a working memory problem, and that brain injury, and it
Hmm.
never gets fixed. So I was already sort of upset with that. And I remember I was, for some reason, one of the producers was like with me on Go Seas, and I talked to some of the girls about this like afterward, and I was like, "Did you guys have anybody other than camera crew with you?" And they were like, "No." I was like, "Well, that's bizarre." So there's a lot of speculation there, but
Mm.
I remember like I feel like I had told, and again, my memory is what it is, so it's possible that I'm wrong, but I feel like I told the cab driver to meet me over at like on Cooper Street in the thing, and I we were so sleep deprived. We had just gotten to Australia, which is a totally different time zone. We had already been sleep deprived for months. Um, and we're doing this thing. I just had that happen, and I was like, I'm going home. Like they're gonna kick me off, and I was completely lost, which is scary.
Hmm.
Like, and there's people there, but they're not gonna help you.
Do you
Like
think they
because
were
that's not their
exploiting
job.
you and your brain injury?
Yeah, basically. And then it's made into, and then they aired it and showed it as like, like literally, I'm having an emotional breakdown. Like when somebody reacts that way, that's not a normal reaction. And that means that there's something else going on at that time for that person.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I lost it. I was so overwhelmed. And for years and years, and I mean, still to this day, I still hear shit about that. And it's like, that was 5 seconds of my life.
What did they make it look like?
Like I was just some crazy cryy bitch.
Jeez. I'm so sorry. And like you said, that's a couple minutes. It's just literally a couple minutes, and they use it to define your entire existence.
And it affects everything. Like it, because everybody can Google you the second they meet you, and
Yeah.
it never goes away. Like and they re-air this show so often because it was such an enterprise. Like people, even my friends, and they say it jokingly, and I love them for it. But they'll be like, "Yeah, you're crying in my living room right now," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, how's that?" So sorry, so sorry. And they're like, "Okay, and I'm just teasing you." Um, but yeah, I mean, I when I signed with my agency in New York, I didn't even like mention top model. I sent out Polaroids like I would have done it had I never gone on the show, because I was
Hmm.
so humiliated.
Mm. I'm so sorry. And you are you okay?
Yeah.
I wish I could give you a hug. No, it's just awful. Like you don't deserve to be treated that way. You don't deserve to be misrepresented when you're, just doing the best you can in the situation you're in, which is an extreme situation. That's one thing I don't think people really understand about these shows is it isn't a documentary crew following you around with your every move. You
No.
are deliberately put into manufactured situations while you've been sleep deprived, while you've been
I mean,
starved, when
that's
you're
why they sleep
dehydrated.
deprive you. They want you to be at your most volatile. They
Hmm.
want That's why you're not allowed to talk. That's why you're not allowed to like reach out to your support system. And for me, like JL, she had been my support when like her and I were really close on the show. She was the one person that like I connected with. Um and she got kicked off right before that, and I lost it. And I like now I look back and I can laugh at it because it's been 20 years, and like the other girl's response was like some people have wars in their country, and I'm like that's a very valid response to somebody that is having a meltdown
Jeez.
because it's true. But also overjudging somebody for 5 seconds of like when they're at their worst in the worst situation, just trying to like function
Yeah.
is just it's cruel.